God damn, god damn, god damn. What a television show that was. Legit, I am at a loss for words. For the last 10 weeks, so many people have eagerly awaited this moment of the finale coming to this show. For so long, even before the show released, many were doubting it, saying it was going to be bad, saying that they were going to pull a Game of Thrones Season 8, and even saying that it probably wouldn't top any of the best seasons of that original show. And now I can only imagine many of those Game of Thrones fans are going to be eating their words for years to come. And by the way, these words that are being spoken now are the words of a non-Game of Thrones watcher. I have never seen a single full hour of an episode of Game of Thrones in my life. I have merely only seen clips of it in the past. For the longest time, I always dreaded the idea that I would ever sit down and watch that show fully through. I think after watching this season, those thoughts might be rekindling once again. The only reason that I took up the idea of watching House of the Dragon in the first place was because it was a prequel series before that show and I genuinely wanted to try something new. As it stands, for the last month or so, I have adopted the task of watching 4 different television shows simultaneously, and so I thought, why not add a 4th to that list with House of the Dragon? And I can tell you right now that was simply one of the best decisions that I have made in my life in recent times. And so with that being said, I will firmly stand here and say it now, House of the Dragon Season 1 is damn near as close to a perfect season of television as I have maybe ever seen in my life. And I've watched many television shows, from the lines of The Walking Dead before the final seasons aired, to even shows like Avatar: The Last Airbender, which in my mind is the best animated show of all time and my favorite show ever. Obviously, those are not the only 2 that I have seen. I have seen plenty of others, limited series alike, which gave me some great television viewing experiences, to even some older shows that I used to grow up watching as a kid on cable television. I've seen plenty in my time. But when it comes down to it, simply from a writing perspective and the idea around what makes a story so compelling to watch, from the world it breathes to even the dialogue that is spoken from the characters of that world, this is simply the best season of television I have ever watched. And for some cases, it might not be the most entertaining I've ever watched, but sometimes you don't really need an entertaining season of television to make it incredible. You don't always need action to drive a compelling narrative. All it takes is a really good story, and you have that right here with House of the Dragon. And honestly, with everything I just said, there should really be no reason for me to even go further into delving into every character and every storyline and everything that took place in the season, simply because of the fact that I thought everything about it was just so good. The actors were all so incredible here. The writing was pitch perfect at best. The action, when there was great. The world building to the character development, it was all simply so amazing. In my personal opinion, I only really had nitpicks with a few things, to the CGI on some of the dragons, to a few character decisions that would take place along the way, but even then I can't think of anything more that made me say the show had issues. This show's ability to bring you in through every minute by giving you the world of politics behind the thrones of every house, by the ambition and the beliefs of every character and where they stand, to only make it all come full circle and a great connection is why this show, to so many like me, was perfectly crafted. I could not think of a better season of television to teach in film schools for new filmmakers and in classes about how to write compelling stories. Again, you will hear no words from me to speak on with regards to any of the seasons from Game of Thrones. There is no reason for me to compare, as I have not seen any of them. I am only simply speaking on this singular season. If there is to be a discussion on how it does compare to other seasons, I would happily implore to comment below in the comment section on how you all feel about that. No show for me in recent time, other than maybe The Mandalorian, has gotten me as excited on a week-to-week basis for each episode to come out. When a show has the ability to do that, you already know it's doing something right. And don't even get me started on the Emmy talks for this season. Listen, I am not as familiar with the Emmys as I am with the Oscars, but you can bet your ass someone in this show is 100% getting nominated for their performances, and I think maybe even will win one, and I think I know exactly who it's going to be. The character of Viserys Targaryen to me is one of the best characters in a television show I have ever seen, and he is wonderfully and expertly and perfectly played by the actor Paddy Considine. Not only can you write just such a perfect character, but you can also get such a perfect actor to play him. And my God, I have never been more upset with how much he goes through throughout the season for good and for worse. His story is simply the story of a good man who is put in a position to where he just wanted the right thing for anyone and himself. To this day, the scene between him and his brother Daemon in episode 9, where he helps him up to the throne, nearly broke me. As somebody who has gone through some things in his personal life, I can only say from the heart that that scene made me feel certain things I didn't think I would feel during the show. And listen, again, the whole of the main cast in the show really were the driving force that brought the show together, and gave us a reason to keep watching every week. From a character like Rhaenyra, who is played so well by both actors, to even her counterpart in Alicent, who again was played so well by both the younger actress and the older actress in Olivia Cooke, we are talking about A+ performances. And Daemon, I mean, what more is there really to say about this guy? Matt Smith is such a presence in this show as this character, to the point where this guy can do so many bad things and fans will still love him regardless, which is simply so crazy to think about. I mean, after his movie with Morbius, I really thought that people were going to drop off on liking him as an actor, but I think with this role, he has been brought back into the limelight as a really, really good actor. And again, this is not to diminish the importance of every other character in the show. They are all simply so great. It's just that when you have so many characters who all in their own way latched onto you as the viewer, you really couldn't ask for a more perfect reason to give the show an applause. And to the people out there who would say that the show was not good because it didn't do a whole lot and it was very slow and it didn't showcase a whole lot of dragons, I will simply put it this way. I am not here to say that you can't have that opinion, but to instead look deeper into what the season was truly about and what it was setting up for. We have more seasons to go for the show, and in some cases you could really say that this was the prologue to the beginning of the true show of House of the Dragon. After seeing that finale and what occurred, fans can surely expect that we are about to get one of the most incredible seasons of television ever with Season 2. Of course, I cannot end this video without talking about the people behind the camera. You all did such an amazing job, and I know the main showrunner is not going to be returning for Season 2, but I trust that he is leaving it in capable hands for what we should expect down the line. HBO is continuing to prove that they are of the highest quality of television in the world right now. There really truly is no better place to have a show like this, and so again, I will say I am very happy that I came along for the ride. I am hoping that we continue to see all these characters return, whether they are big or whether they are smaller side characters who didn't get it as much screen time but left a great impression on us as viewers, clinging to see more. I do apologize to everyone watching this video that I can't talk more on everything, since not only am I not a watcher of Game of Thrones, but I am also not a reader of the books. I can only say so much with how I feel about this show, knowing that I am a casual viewer. I know George R.R. Martin was involved with this season, and I think it really showed that the quality from his books was all on screen because he was able to be a part of it. This, in a way, for me, is why I am very excited for a show like Percy Jackson, because for one, I grew up reading those books, and you have the author working on the show with everyone else. I think when you do something like that, you are giving the show more of a reason to be much greater in quality. And I know I've heard all the stories about the final seasons of Game of Thrones and how they didn't go that route, but maybe here it can reinvigorate those fans it lost and bring them back in. And so to end off this video, again, this is the story and the view of a man who is not a die-hard fan, but simply a lover of entertainment, a lover of great stories, and a lover of someone who overall just wants to be entertained on a monthly basis to a weekly basis to a daily basis. I do hope that more filmmakers out there see this season and use it as a fine example of how to go forward with making more entertainment in the future. And if they do that, then in the end, we might all just be entertained no matter where we lie. And with that, I want to thank you all so much for coming and watching this video for those who came out. If you enjoyed this video and liked what I had to say, I would appreciate if you dropped a like on the video and commented down below your thoughts. If you are new to this channel and you want to see more videos like this, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I hope everyone here has a wonderful week and a great journey on to wherever they go next to watch whatever entertainment they see. And I will see you in the next one.